Greetings planty people and welcome back to my jungle. Sorry about the slight delay of uploading this video. I've just come back from a holiday to New York, so I'm jet lagged and I caught a cold from the plane, so that's lovely. So if I sound extra husky in this video, now you know. So I've had quite a few questions on TikTok and Instagram on how I grow my Alocasia from corm, as it can seem a little bit daunting and there's quite a lot of answers. So I thought I'd share my experience and my tips on what's worked for me. So let's go to the basics. What is an Alocasia corm? Once you change the soil in your Alocasia, you will notice these little bulb thingies. I'll leave a photo here. Ting! And if you're not aware of what they are, you probably just throw them away or just leave them in the soil, whatever. Don't worry, I did that the first time I found one and I was so annoyed with myself when I found out what it was. So basically, each bulb is a chance to grow yourself a new Alocasia. That's how it propagates itself. So unlike philodendron, you can't trim off a leaf and put it in water to root. It doesn't work that way. You either have to split up a few Alocasia plants or grow it from the corm. So once you've found your corm, I would always recommend peeling it. So it will have this kind of brown husk on it. Doesn't always, but if it's a much older corm, it will most likely have a shell almost. Just be careful not to kind of prick the actual flesh of the bulb, as then you've got a higher chance of it rotting. If you're a little bit worried about it, you don't have to peel it, but I do find it helps. I find it actually quite satisfying. So once you've gathered up a whole load of corms, to be fair, could even be one. But with the amount of Alocasia I have, I just kind of chuck them all together and see what happens. And I found the best success from putting it in just a glass jar or a cup, and just like a drop of water and a drop of fertiliser to give it that extra boost. I will show you how I do it. So as you can see here, this is just an old jar that I got a plant propagation in, and there is a whole load of Alocasia corms in there. Some of them are actually starting to root, so I'm probably going to need to do that after this video. And I keep this in my prop box because it's nice and warm, and I've got a grow light in there, so the warmth I found really helps boost it to grow some roots, and obviously needs a bit of brightness as well. In regards to the water, I would only do a drop because I've done it with more before and it just doesn't work out. They need the kind of condensation. They just like to be slightly moist, and in a few weeks you'll notice it has roots. I'll show you the next step. So once you have a few little roots growing on them like this, I don't know which one this is, I like a surprise. I usually put them in some kind of vessel. It can be a cup, it can be glass. I think it's good to have it see-through because then you can kind of see what's going on and get that light to the roots. But I literally just put them in moss once they've rooted. Some people put them straight in soil. You can put it in semi-hydro, which I've also done, which I'll also show you in a second. But I found the best success from putting it straight into moss. Just make sure the moss isn't too wet, otherwise it'll rot, or too dry where it will just completely dry out and do nothing. So as you can see in here, I've got a whole little selection. I think that's a little baby cupria. Super exciting, one of my favourites. Some people do label them, but one, too lazy. Two, I like to guess what they are. I think it's more fun that way. Let me know if you label yours. I'm just not very organised. And the one in semi-hydro, there you go. I use a Soil Ninja semi-hydro, the fine one, because I found if you have it in too chunky, it doesn't really grow as much and the roots will kind of struggle where to grasp. Might work for you, but finer semi-hydro works better for me. So in here we've got another cupria. What are you? Oh, that's a black velvet, I think. And another cupria. I really like cupria. I also have a little baby in here, and then in here just like a recycled all those cheap shot glasses. I've got a little baby cupria in here. Super cute if you want to keep them separate. And in here, here's the fun one. Here's the one I'm very excited for. In here's actually a mixture of both, so it's semi-hydro and moss. Oh my gosh, look at that root coming out. I think I need to do something about this one. So in here we've got a Frydek. That's the one I'm most excited for because two of the past ones I've had have not survived, and I've heard it's because they prefer semi-hydro. So once this is, well, it's already grown out, I'm going to put it straight into semi-hydro. So basically what this is in already. I think, oh, we've got a pink dragon. We've got a cupria, a bambino, and another black velvet. Look at that, I'm so excited for this one. Woo! So I'll definitely be transplanting these back into a bigger pot with the same stuff because I've done it before where I've put a plant straight into soil after semi-hydro before I knew the rules and it died. definitely, if you are going to do that, slowly transition it, otherwise it'll just go into shock and melt. Not fun. But I found this is a really good way of propagating Alocasia, because as we know, they can be quite tricky, and having a little baby backup is always a good idea, just in case. I also find they're really good to bring to plant swaps and swap with your friends, because it's just like, do you want a little baby? Yeah, fun. But make sure when you are make sure when you are transplanting them, to be very careful of the roots, as they're very delicate. Let me know if you've got any questions about the whole process. It's fairly straightforward. It does take a bit of time, so you may have to be a bit patient. I know, that's a struggle for me as well. But you can do it. I believe in you. Sorry it's a bit of a shorter video. I don't feel very well. I'll leave all my social medias down below as usual. I will see you in the next one. Let me know what videos you want to see. Bye bye.